All right, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Huddle. My name is Emily Duba. I've been with the company for 2.5 years. Um, so if you are brand new, welcome. We are so glad to see your faces on here. And if you've been with us for a little bit, welcome back to our team Huddle. I am going to talk to you guys a little bit tonight about something that I call flexible discipline. Because I feel like sometimes when you get on Zooms, at least I know this was true for me when I first got started, is I would hop on Zooms and I would hear people say things like, no excuses, like make sure you get the stuff done. What's your non-negotiables? What is it that you're doing before your head hits the pillow at night? And for someone like me, that would generate all sorts of anxiety because I knew what my work ethic was like and I knew what I was doing throughout the day, and then hopping on a Zoom later at night and they would say like, get this done, get this done, get this done. And I would feel like, oh my gosh, I still have so much more to do before bed. And what I recognized is that when you are on a Zoom, it is very important for you to take the things that are valuable to you in that moment and to let other things go. Okay. Every single time you hop on a Zoom, there's going to be some valuable nugget that you are going to take away from it. There are going to be things that are more applicable to you now versus things that might be more applicable to you later. And that is 100% a-okay. And so something that I have done, and it seems to work really well for me, is having a mentality of flexible discipline. So it's things like every single day, I do my best to get certain things done. I fully believe that you have to work on your mind, you have to work on your body, you have to work on your spirit, and every single one of those things goes hand in hand. So for me personally, it's like taking care of my body. Every single day, I try to do some type of physical exercise, but that physical exercise isn't the same thing every day. Sometimes that physical exercise looks like doing an hour-long HIIT workout. Okay. Sometimes it's like doing a 10-minute yoga video. Sometimes it's riding bikes with my kids. Sometimes it's going for a walk. But the point behind it is that I'm moving my body in some way. Okay. Sometimes we can get wrapped up in doing like a 30-day workout challenge or a 90-day workout challenge. And then on week 3, you're tired and you're sick of hearing the workout instructor yelling at you, right? Like if you've ever been there and you know what I'm talking about, drop a 1 in the chat. It just becomes repetitive. And for me personally, I can get so caught up in the mundane of things that I just don't want to do it. So I have to figure out ways to keep things interesting for me. And that means being willing to shake things up. The other thing is when it comes to like my body is fueling my body with good things. Okay. I will never, ever, ever be the type of person to tell you to cut everything that is sugar related or processed out of your diet because it's really hard to maintain that. What you will hear from me when I'm talking with clients or talking to people on our team when we do challenges together is make sure that you're drinking as much water as you possibly can. And that when you are sitting down to eat, you ask yourself, is this good energy that I'm putting into my body, or is this going to make me feel crappy? Okay. I always think of it like you can either put good things in your body and make your body feel good, or you can put bad things in your body and make your body feel bad. And not because I want you to have this good, bad mentality or relationship with food, but food is energy. And so we have to consider that when we are eating and when we're drinking. I really believe that when we are going about our day, we can berate ourselves when we have slip ups, right? Like you can wake up in the morning and eat a good breakfast and eat a good lunch. And then like 9 o'clock hits and all of a sudden all the chips and cookies and everything else come out. Like if you are anything like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My kids are always like, Mom, what'd you have last night after we went to bed? A whole sleeve of Oreos. And I'm like, mind your business, you guys. Like, don't even worry about it. But the point being is that if you are feeding your body and you are treating your body well, it is not a bad thing to also treat yourself too. So healthy balance there. The other thing is self-development. When we talk about having a flexibly disciplined self-development plan for yourself, this can look like a lot of different things too. When we talk about developing your mindset, it can be business development, it can be personal development, it can be spiritual development, it can be reading a book, it can be going out and being one with nature, like going on a hike, it can be watching a church service, it can be getting in community with other people who are like-minded. I know that one of the struggles that I hear a lot when we go to like events is people are like, I don't feel like I'm working my business, right? Like people will say, I'm not sending out the messages, or I'm not getting as many posts up, or I'm not interacting as much. But being present in those moments and soaking up all of the energy and all of the hype and all of the good knowledge that people are presenting to you, that is working your business as well. And so I just want to encourage you guys today to understand fully and completely that when we are on these Zooms and we're talking with you guys and you hear terminology like no excuses, it does not mean that we don't care about you or that we don't care that you have life going on. What it means is that you have to be willing to figure out something that is going to help you navigate those endeavors that you are having in your life so that you can still have a positive outcome on the other side of things. Being flexibly disciplined is knowing that you might have a goal of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning. And there may be days where you just can't do it. Like your body is literally just telling you, you need extra sleep today. You should sleep then. You know what I'm saying? Like there are certain points in your day where it is a-okay for you to recognize that your body needs to rest. And that is an essential part of taking care of yourself as well. It is very common for people to get into this industry, especially when you're new and you're excited. And we never want to dim down that fire that you have inside your soul for running this business. But if you are always running at 100% all of the time and you're never giving yourself time to rest, you're going to find yourself in a stage where you are feeling like all I ever do is sit on my phone. And that's not what we want you guys to be doing. We want you to have a healthy balance between utilizing this business and creating time freedom and creating financial freedom while you can be at home with your kiddos and while you're doing the things that you love. Something that helps me navigate through all of that is knowing exactly what I need to do throughout the day. I actually really love lists. I don't have a predominantly green personality, but I do love to know what the expectation is. So we know that every single day in this business, there are certain things that we should be doing. Okay. So for me in the morning, and I know every single day I'm going to be doing the same things, but I love to be able to like cross it off my list and say like, yep, I got that done. If you're a fellow list person, drop a 2 in the chat. Why this is so important is because when you create a list and you are able to cross something off, check something off, it not only gives you a sense of appreciation for yourself and the things that you have done throughout the day, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, but it also allows you to see that you are actually doing the things that you should be doing for your business. So for me personally, I like to get a sticky note out, and every single day I write on my sticky note, send out hat feelers, check in with my team, put up a post, add to my stories, do self-development. And then as I go out throughout my day, I literally cross it off. And then it's the most satisfying feeling to crumple up that sticky note and throw it away, knowing I have done everything I needed to do for that day for my business. And it's also, if you guys understand this, like sometimes people feel like they need permission to not work. Okay. If you agree with that, drop a 3 in the chat. We have the ability to be available all the time, right? Like we work from our phones and people can get a hold of us any point in time throughout the day. They can get a hold of us at 1:00 in the morning. They can get a hold of us at 5:00 in the morning. They can get a hold of us during dinner time, but you get to decide when you want to work your business. And that can be a really tricky thing, especially when you are like, I'm going to get this sale. If I just answer right now, I'm going to close the deal. And that can be true. Urgency is a real thing, and you should be urgent within your responses, but you also need to give yourself grace and know that you are not tied to your phone all the time unless you choose to be. So just keep that in mind as you are going about your business and going about your day, which again is why I love having a checklist of things to do, because if I can say I did everything that I was supposed to be doing today and my kids want to go watch a movie together, I can do it with a clear conscience, knowing that I've gotten everything I needed to done. Does that make sense? Is that making sense? Okay, I see a couple people nodding their heads. So thanks for you couple of people. Okay, the other thing too, okay, so Ashley asked, she's brand new, what would my list look like? So I know this is your day one, so there's a lot of things that are going to be said that you're going to be like, I don't really know what you're talking about, and that's okay. We're not going to necessarily dive fully into the depths of every single topic, I guess, or category, if you want to call it that. But what I can tell you is that we basically do the same 6 things every single day. And within those 6 categories, there's going to be little things that your sponsor can absolutely dive into more detail with you and help you break that down so that you are making sure that you are doing everything necessary in order for you to grow and succeed. So, excuse me, let me run you through 6 things that you should be doing every single day. Excuse me. Okay. So number 1 is, like I said earlier, is self-development. That can literally be that's like a loaded topic, because self-development, like I said, could be reading a book, it could be listening to a podcast, it can be going on YouTube, it could be doing a one-on-one with your sponsor, but some type of self-development. And what I like to tell you is that every single day that you go out in the world, you need to protect your mind, you need to protect your heart, and you need to protect your spirit. And doing self-development is going to prepare you for battle. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are doing that self-development. The other thing that is really important for you to do every single day is make connections with people. So sending out messages. What's really nice about our business is that there have been people in this business long enough that they have had many conversations, and they can help you with conversation starters. So reach out to your sponsor and say, I'm not really sure how to talk to people about this. How do I get this conversation going? And they will send you conversation starters to have with new people. Your responsibility right now is to not know everything, but it's to trust that your sponsor is giving you the best and most solid advice. Your responsibility is to trust that and just take action. Everything else is going to fall into place if you are willing to take action. The next thing is follow up. You're going to send out lots of messages to people, and people aren't going to respond. A lot of that is just because people are busy and they're not as connected to their phones as we are. So following up with people is where you're going to find the fortune. It's what you're going to have to do every single day, because conversations are not going to start and finish within the first couple of hours of you necessarily talking. And that's 100% okay. It is known to take 7 to 12 touches with someone to close the deal. So just keep that in mind, that if you don't get a yes in the very first 10 minutes of you having a conversation with someone, you might have to follow up with them and follow up with them again and follow up with them again. It's just the nature of the beast. And if you are willing to follow up with people consistently, you are going to enroll and recruit people to your team. You can ask my girls on my team. They will say, like, the reason I joined this business is because Emily wouldn't stop following up with me. So just note that it's a very real thing. Follow up is really real. The other thing is posting on social media. We really try our best to help you as new distributors do attraction style marketing. So it's not super like, hey, try my stuff, hey, buy my stuff, but it's more like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing and this is what other people are experiencing. And if these are the same types of goals that you have, then this could be a really good fit for you as well. So your sponsor is going to help you navigate what posting looks like. And what's really beautiful, and I know Larissa was talking about this on the new distributor training, like, we're all here for you. We're all here to have your back. If you're not really sure what to post, write something up and send it to your sponsor and say, like, hey, I really think I want to post this. I'm not really sure if it's like worded, right or whatever. And your sponsor can help you navigate through that. The other thing is interaction. I mean, we are in network marketing, and by definition, that means that you are making connections with other people. So networking is talking. You are talking with other people. That means that you are liking their posts, you're commenting on posts, you're interacting on stories, you're voting on polls, you're getting in their inbox and wishing them happy birthday. Again, interaction, just like what you were doing before on social media, or if you weren't doing that stuff, it's a really great time to start doing it. The other thing, number 6, is plugging in. So like hopping on Zooms, getting a hold of your sponsor, making sure that you're in communication with people. So that's what your list would look like: self-develop, message, follow-up, post, interact, and check in with your sponsor. That would be your 6th list as a new distributor. Is that making sense? I know that's kind of a lot, but it's like the same across the board. If you message Cassie, she's going to tell you do these 6 things. If you message Miranda, Christina, Larissa, we're all going to be like, do these 6 things. Like, that's just what we do. So yeah, the core 6 of what we do. You can also add things to your list, and you can take things away from your list. It's just going to depend on what you have available during your day or your time frame or whatever. But those are basically the 6 categories that you're going to be within. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. And then within that too, being flexibly disciplined doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit down for an hour or 2 hours and knock all of that stuff out all at once. What's beautiful about this business is you have the opportunity to choose your own schedule. Being disciplined means making sure that when you do sit down to work, you're doing the things that are on that 6 list. Okay. So if that means you're up early in the morning and you have a half an hour to do something, you're not just watching a ton of reels or watching a ton of TikToks. You know what I'm saying? You're actually doing intentional things that are going to help you to grow your business. So that's really all I had for you guys tonight, is making sure that when you are sitting down and working, it's an intentional time and you're checking those things off of your list. And if you're not a list person, that's okay too. Something that Larissa on our team shared with us that works really well with her is setting alarms in her phone. So it'll be like 9 o'clock hits and it tells her, go put a post up. And she knows at 9 o'clock, she's got to put a post up. And then at noon, it'll say like, send out hat messages. And then she sends out hat messages. So finding what works for you and trying different things, but also part of that discipline part is sticking with something. Okay, don't start something and say, I'm going to give this one day or I'm going to give this one shot and see how it goes. Give yourself time to develop certain styles and habits that are going to work for you, because you don't really know unless you give it some time. I know I work my business different than Cassie. Cassie's a college student, so she works around school. I have a buttload of kids, so I work around all of my kids. It's just the nature of the beast. Everyone is going to run this business a little bit differently, but making sure that when you do sit down to do the work, it's intentional and you're being disciplined and getting your work done. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you all so much for getting on. I wish you all the best in your endeavors in October, and I can't wait to watch you slay. Have a good night.